Do you ever have a plan in your mind to do something, but then it all starts to like unravel and like it's not quite the way you thought it would turn out? That's kind of been like my life a little bit lately, and I kind of want to share with you kind of what's going on and some things coming up. It's kind of really exciting, and I just kind of want to take you on that journey to kind of feel that it's okay, and it's also about playing the long game. So let me explain. Simply, I'm Salvatore, a 9 to 5 office worker, humble, just trying to do my best I can for my fitness, get really fast at running, ride my bike everywhere, inspire, men to, level up many aspects of their life from fitness, food, health, work. And basically in this one, I kind of want to take you through some stuff that's happened in my life lately. So it's all kind of started a little while back where I was kind of promised that, uh, I guess projects. It's all projects I've noticed. So the first one would be the planter box project, which I want to do a separate video about. But in a nutshell, I was kind of promised that there would be a material that we could use and create a planter box in a couple of hours, so to speak. But what ended up happening was many, many, many days, weeks worth of like effort. And I kind of had to do all of it. I was kind of under a different impression. So basically, that was something quite disruptive to me being able to kind of film, script, and do content for you guys. But don't worry, I have tried to film it as best I can. So in that video, I want to try overlay all the shenanigans of me trying to figure out how to do it. So the planter box project, that was a big one. And then kind of moving from that, I had enough confidence to realize that my peach tree was dying and not doing great. So I started an irrigation project. So I figured out how to properly irrigate a tree and ensure it gets the proper nutrients and care and love that it needs while protecting it from kind of getting too dry and ensuring kind of the water gets to where it needs to. And this is super interesting to learn that stuff. And I guess these kind of have been like little other victories for me. They're not as say tangible as getting a job promotion or running a super fast race, but these little things kind of set up other aspects, and it just kind of gives you the confidence to say that the place that you live in and that you've kind of settled down in, you're kind of like forming your own home and kind of having stuff that you can teach your kids in the future. And this is kind of like the phase I'm somewhat in, I guess. That's been kind of really cool. And I guess on that point, so I've got my girlfriend a secondhand road bike. I'm always talking to you guys about how secondhand road bikes are like underrated. They're the best bang for buck. They're way better than the current new bikes out there. And I kind of wanted to put my money where my mouth is. And I spent $200 on getting my girlfriend a really good secondhand bike. But there's been a couple of things I've had to do to tweak it because it needed a little bit of work. And I'm almost at the tail end of that, and I'll do a video on that as well. That's kind of been like another project that's been like the super fast, super cool road bike edit. And, I want to do that perfectly for her. So she can really enjoy that. And that bike is going to fit her better than her current one. So that kind of makes me happy as well, that she'll be able to have a lighter bike that she really enjoys, and just kind of have the same love, even more of a love I have for cycling, but for her. So I'm really happy for that. And it's kind of like a cool challenge because in my mind, I said, I know I can definitely do the cables for brakes and gears on a bike if it's externally routed. And I've kind of more or less been able to do so. It has required a bit of effort, but it's really rewarding to be able to have that skill. And again, I guess pass that on to your kids, and then also have that benefit of knowing with your other bikes what exactly to do because you've leveled up yourself and your bike mechanic ability, I guess, to be able to look at details and things and figure out how things work in a very, I guess, manly and masculine way, so to speak, or maybe an engineering point of view, perhaps. So then that kind of takes us back to another project that's kind of been around all of this from the month of like February, March, maybe April. I've been really into like making pizza. I don't know why, but I just like I wanted to kind of get stuck into it. So I've been learning how to make dough and experimenting with pizzas. I've had some big failures. I've had some negative comments already on a YouTube short I did about it. But that's kind of been like a fun process to kind of take all that and figure out how to get better at it. And it's been really rewarding. It kind of feels like I'm awakening the inner Italian. And I'll probably do like a video on that as well. Like I tried making pizza for 30 days and how that went. So that's really exciting too. Like, I just really like, and it kind of like dawned on me, like, I really like making pizza. And if you do it in a certain way, it can become like fast food in terms of how quickly it's prepared, but you can make it really healthy as well. So that kind of was like really promising to note. And like, because I'm big on like, fueling carbohydrates and kind of getting it in, like in terms of, the glycogen and the glucose and just like having good fuel for the next day. And that kind of like is really cool. But I'm also love hosting people with me and my girlfriend, hosting friends. So it's kind of cool to see another facet of the hosting, but in a very, if I had, say, 6 hours to host, and it took me 3 hours to make the bread, and then the other 3 hours to like tidy the house and do whatever. Like it's cool to know that like that I could host like something really really cool. So it's really rewarding to know that. And then I guess that's also then translated into me making sourdough bread, which has been okay. But focaccia bread, I really had a lot of fun with making focaccia. So I'll see if I can interlay that as well. So let's call that like the breading, kneading process, I guess. Like, I know the whole like COVID and like sourdough thing was with a lot of people that were interested. This is kind of like a me realizing that I'm Italian and we've got a whole plethora of culture around like bread, pizza, and focaccia, and just kind of using that. And then that takes us to kind of like a culmination of me as a person, just the lifestyle that I lead in terms of running on a regular basis, riding to work, always having a propensity for fitness and like a lifestyle. An active lifestyle has translated to me just casually waking up on a Friday morning, a Good Friday, so to speak, and just running a half marathon. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just trying to say that it's kind of cool to see that happen in a way that it just kind of was something that I could realize a couple days before and just kind of do it. And then go about the rest of the day making food and just being quite active and not just like basically dying. So it's kind of cool to note that what you preach or what you talk about is conducive for just a really cool life of like challenge and excitement to do better. Because like what happened was my watch was kind of telling me that you're not really pushing yourself from a fitness point of view, which is kind of a bit annoying because I thought I was. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a half marathon instead of like a 16K long run, which is like an extra like 5.1K. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that will show the watch. So that was kind of like funny to do that. And I also got sick. That was kind of funny too. But, that could have just been because I was really like the change of weather that weekend. It was a funny one. And then that takes us to just some other little things like, I've invested some more in my wardrobe because I've got some more suits. I've got this, jacket that I really like, this, safari linen jacket. I've found a really good tailor who can do a lot of like alterations because I'm a short person. So it's kind of really cool to kind of, I guess, if I was to say, like just have everything kind of like across a number of things, just keep slowly leveling up. And I guess that's kind of like what I'm getting at. So from like more so onwards, I kind of want to get more back to basics in terms of just being able to kind of simplify the process for me of making videos for you guys, because I'm really grateful for the support and I want to keep inspiring you. So I kind of want to, as much as I can, cut that down and make it a bit more efficient. So like that's something I'm really keen on. And to give an update on the whole city to bay progression, September I want to run 12Ks in under 40 minutes. I have tried to kind of run 10Ks in under 40 minutes. That hasn't been to much success yet. I'm close to running 5Ks in under 19 minutes. But then of course I have run a half marathon in 1 hour and was it 42 or 47, which is pretty cool. So I want to run the half marathon in under 90 minutes. I want to try that for my birthday in a couple of weeks. So a morning half marathon in my race shoes to see if I can make it happen. So it'd be really exciting to try, right? So yeah, I mean, there's kind of more stuff on the go, but this is kind of where a lot of my time and effort has kind of been. And I've also helped my girlfriend kind of like find an amazing job. So it's kind of cool to note that a lot of me was kind of like, I have to make a lot of videos all the time. I have to really, try really hard. And this is kind of like me not being as hard on myself, but trying to keep myself accountable and realize that we're playing the long game. And by being like consistent overall in the long run, things will seem to work themselves out. And that's kind of what I want to encourage you to focus on. I guess like the whole idea of tackling the mountain can seem quite long, and there's going to be many paths that either divert you or are exciting to go down to try to challenge yourself and learn more. So I kind of like want to encourage you to do that so long as it like aligns with your lifestyle and a healthy habit, so to speak, like kind of me learning to make food, learning to grow food, learning to care for, the environment around me in terms of a tree. Like all these things are kind of very like central to kind of like my tenants, if that makes sense. Like I'm not going out partying. I'm not like drinking excessively. I barely drink at all for that point. But like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think that's kind of what I wanted to share with you all and kind of inspire so that you can conquer the mountain with confidence, as I always say. Now, of course, if you'd like to support me further, you can get there's a link in the description for an ebook called Life Cycles, where I take you through everything you need to know about how to get the perfect bike for you, much like the secondhand bike I talk about or got for my girlfriend, to basically leverage the bike to save time, money, and just lose weight and just feel like your fastest, fittest version of yourself. I take you through how to save thousands, hundreds of dollars on just everything from the bike to clothing to nutrition, how to optimize your sleep, there's some recipes in there too, like everything to get you started. And questions that you'll have inevitably along the way are all answered throughout this in terms of how to dress for riding on a bike and how to recover, the stretches to do. Specific training for certain goals that you want is all covered on there. So if you'd like to support me further, go ahead. If not, just subscribe, and I want to make more content around either cycling, fitness, food, being an Italian, pizza. So it's all kind of getting there. So as always, conquer mountains, conquer life.